start off.
No problem. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year's. Good to be with you tonight. Leadership and staff were visiting the other day, actually in preparation for the change in leadership, which is ostensibly occurring this evening. And there was some conversation as it relates to the appropriate title for council people in this day and age. And some of the suggestion was that councilman, councilwoman, council member was all potentially outdated, if you will, outmoded, and so on. And some proposals thereafter were suggested, many of which you see in your memo that prepares for the conversation this evening. So the question before you tonight is what your direction would be as it relates to a more appropriate protocol for referring to our council people in office and so forth. And so that really is the question before you. If you have direction you want to give tonight in that regard, we will be ready with that, the appropriate changes and so forth necessary to take up the change in the next regular business meeting.
Lisa.
Do we have to change the names?
Councilwoman, you do not have to change the names. That's entirely up to this group. Absolutely up to this group.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
For me, I'm hoping you all got my email, which, by the way, I can't do anymore. I'm not allowed to send out group emails, so in the matter of transparency, I'll be calling you guys weekly to let you know what's going on individually. Councilman, councilwoman, council member, we have so many things that we throw around. I just like the idea of a non-gender, just easy, and I like counselor. I think and I looked up the definition, which I sent a copy of that to all of you. And to me, that just seems very short, very sweet. So that was my opinion. I don't know, I just wanted to throw it out there, but I like that.
Amber.
I think I'm comfortable either council member or counselor. I guess I'd be interested in like how much work is it gonna be? If everything we have already refers to council members, I don't wanna like generate a bunch of work to redo the handbook, code of ethics, website, et cetera. So can you give me any sense of what that type of change would require?
Mr. Mayor, council member.
Let's try them all out in this conversation and see what feels right.
The regular book says councilman, doesn't it?
Well, the reality is, as it relates to Word documents and so forth, there's a number of mechanisms in place that changing those features in the code of ethics and in the handbook and that kind of stuff is rather minimal. There may need to be some ordinance implications that we need to consider as a part of this, which too I don't think is a huge issue either. The website is already undergoing some renovations, and so those references I don't think are going to be insurmountable either. So I don't let that feature be an obstruction to doing something that might be more appropriate in your eyes. So I would say that's a non-issue.
Others? Comments? Opinions?
I think I'm fine with council member.
Council?
I have absolutely no strong feelings any one way or another about it. I was just seeing what our handbook uses. It looks like member.
Go ahead.
I mean, I like using council member or counselor means that everybody gets called the same thing, so you don't have to try to, in the moment, distinguish who's what, who's this, who's that, which I think is good for streamlining purposes. As to which of those, I think we should choose one of them. As to which we choose, I have strong feelings.
We can just take a vote if we want to.
Sure. I only like counselor just because it's shorter, literally. Counselor Kathy, Counselor Pollock, Council Member Pollock, Council Member Inga Bretson. You know what I mean? It's just shorter and sweeter, and to me, sounds a little more professional, but I don't care either way.
Anybody else want to go for a plug of which one? We don't want to spend too much time on this, I imagine.
Wait a minute.
Try each one out.
Just check out.
Stir the pot.
Time out, hold on, please.
Get out. So I guess we'll
Talk
just,
about the discrimination one.
I guess, is it, thumbs up if you want council member. This is the other thing too, who doesn't care?
Council members in the handbook, which is why.
Yeah.
Bruce, I mean, I guess you're gonna be mayor.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be the one having to say it, and if it sounds like people are somewhat, ambivalent about the whole matter. So, I mean,
If they're ambivalent, I would choose counselor, but if they are stronger feeling towards council member, I don't want to offend anyone on here, so I prefer counselor, but it's entirely up to this board how you're addressed. I'm the one that has to say it most of the time, like you said, so for me, counselor is just quicker, easier, I just like it better. Member, I just don't.
and I would just.
I'm a member of a gym.
And I would just make a recommendation that, that maybe we just stick with it for, the time being, so whoever's the mayor next time isn't gonna be like, well, I wanna change it this way. Is there some way that we can codify that, or is it just kind of up to every year?
Well, I agree with you, Mr. Mayor. Soon to be Councilor Pacheco.
Vice Mayor Pacheco.
True, Vice Mayor. Yeah, I screwed that up, I'm sorry. I'm trying to continue the field test here. And I need to.
You should.
I need to.
Sir.
Oh,
Sit
my
and stew
God.
on that for a minute.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, boy.
The way that the direction would be memorialized would be if indeed there are ordinance implications, and I'm not sure that there are. But if there were, that would certainly be the way to make it have some more permanency, if indeed that's the case.
If you had a preference,
I'm kind of along the lines of the school of thought of it being sharper and quicker, counselor. It's a little easier for, council member gets a wee bit more tiresome, but I don't know that it's, one that I would jump off the bridge for.
Council member elects, counselors,
Councilors elect.
sorry. You guys are okay with
Brandy
it?
said,
I really wanted to weigh in, but
Brandy said we could call her anything. You did weigh in. You said you can call me anything you want.
I also said if it's more than an hour, I'm charging per hour.
Jenna, you're okay with whatever? Okay. Mike? Okay. So I guess we can do counselor.
All right.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
This was the third time we've changed the name, though, is the problem. Number three.
Call me. Either you would.
But this will be done in a resolution now, so it'll be,
Absolutely.
this will be it.
Absolutely.
And like I said, my recommendation would be, whether we stayed with council member or counselor, whatever, my recommendation would be that for future councils, whoever that, as we turn over to the new year, we just maintain that and make sure that we're using that. So I agree with Lisa that changing it every year, it can be a bit cumbersome as well.
I just hope when they see our name tag, they don't come up and start wanting personal counseling since you're a counselor.
Well, I am a counselor, so I'll just take that.
Because am I, but
And I
that's
will-
why I sent you the thing, the true definition.
Also a counselor.
I just,
It's just so different.
I just couldn't resist while we're having fun with it.
Exhausted.
Is it still?
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
So this is gonna be an easy
I'm
meeting.
an unlicensed therapist is what I am.
When you get 9 people.
No, that's more
Nothing's quick.
So is a
So
realtor.
you wanna go with counselor?
Yeah, so everybody's okay with counselor?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Agenda review, I know Carter said he's got something he wants to go over as far as reviewing the protocol for tonight. Since we'll be swearing in 3 new members and switching over mayor and vice mayor, and saying goodbye to some friends of ours today. So Carter, if you want to take that away.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Really, we just wanted to give you the opportunity to ask any questions about logistics. I asked Fleur to briefly review what will happen and how it'll work and what the seating chart looks like, which I think you have a copy of in your packet anyway. Just so that we can hopefully reduce some of the anxiety with regard to who's supposed to be where and when. So if I could turn some time over to Fleur to walk us through that. Appreciate
Did
that.
we change the seating chart?
We did.
We don't have,
Yeah, we thought it was important to put
See-
new people in between seasoned people.
I didn't see it.
There are members of council, it's in your script tonight, it's not in the packet. So as we go through the script, the members of council who are currently seated will do the old business, so that includes your bills and claims, all of the minutes from executive sessions and the regular meetings. And then we will do the oaths for the new council members. At that point, we'll take a little recess, and that's when it will be reset. So I think it's on page 8 of your 9, sorry, of your script. You'll see the new seating chart. And so then after the recess, you'll be seated in that format. Then you'll do the election for the mayor and vice mayor, do the oaths for the mayor and vice mayor, and then they will take their seats. And then the regular new business will resume.
Great.
So it should be fairly easy. It's all in your script, the recesses and the comments and the reseat.
So we start out in our old seat and then move to the new seat after the recess.
Yes, yes, and the voting board will change at that recess.
Cool.
And we will also have nameplates, correct?
Yes, we'll change that at the recess. When you take that little recess, we'll be switching your nameplates to the correct seats.
Hypothetically, if a council member is not happy with the person they're next to, preferably to their right.
I actually already lodged a complaint, so you can't now.
They can't reverse that.
No, nice try.
My left, you're my left.
Yeah, you said preferably the one on your right. That's you, to me.
You're not staying next to the mayor. You're sitting next to the mayor.
Well, I'm next to Bruce, you're
Try
fine.
to zing
Yeah.
Amber.
You still gotta work on upping your
So
game.
right now,
right?
but then after that's where the reseat, and then these two will switch.
Do it.
Because then once you do the election, so this is after the new council members. Okay, so this might be a
So we
little
have two
confusing, so I'll just go over this really quickly again. On page 9,
double switch.
this is after the new council members join us, so the 3 will go, and then we'll have a recess. They'll be seated. At that point, the mayor would still currently be Mayor Pacheco. So Mayor Pacheco will sit in his regular seat, and Vice Mayor Nell will sit in his regular seat. Mayor Pacheco will call for a motion for a new mayor. You'll all vote on that. Then he'll call for a motion on a new vice mayor. You'll all vote on that. They'll be sworn in. I'll do the oath for both of them. And then when they're reseated, they'll switch. So we didn't put that in yours because we thought they could probably just switch
Figure it
seats.
out.
I don't know, those two.
So,
again, really?
I didn't.
Great,
Where are you?
so I won't be by you.
Any questions for Fleur?
Under the fan.
Any questions for the new members
fan.
about it? You guys feel pretty good about everything?
I'll bet I can switch. You.
So Fleur, I am
Got my heated
swearing in the
coat.
new members.
Yes.
Correct?
yes.
Sounds good.
The idea was to make sure we put new council members in between seasoned council members to help them along.
I get that. I just.
Well, I can switch you
We
as.
had the HVAC system fixed since the first year, so.
Well, if it's too cold,
It
let me
should
know
be
and I'll
good.
see if I can just swap you across the aisle. That'd be fine. And I'm sure whoever's
We're
over
gonna
there
vote
will
on
be
some
here.
more remodeling, it's all good.
Steve always wears a vest
See
anyways.
your seating chart when you get back.
Thanks, Carter.
Oh, okay, do you not have one in
I
yours?
bought a heated coat just for this.
Okay, we got about 10 minutes.
Sorry, okay.
Cookie up, folks. Cookie up. It's our last cookies. Unless Macintosh is gonna make appearances
Now and then.
occasionally. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Which would be under no objection.
All right.
Here.
I know.
Yeah.
Whoa. I like them. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to warm my teeth before.
Would anybody else like to see the script?
My wife's coming
No.
tonight and she said if
No.
you tackle. Do you remember that? you get cold over there? Well, she thinks they got it fixed, but it's up to you, Lisa. I'll bet you I can switch you with. Do you want me to switch? Do you want me to switch you with him? Do you want me to switch you with him? I'm sure he would.
I'm
You sure?
good. I bought this boat for a reason.
All right.
I'm a problem solver.
I like it.
Good evening. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone to please silence their cell phones and that council meetings are also televised and can be viewed on cable channel 192. I now call the January 3rd, 2023 regular council meeting to order. All council members are present. Would you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the December 6, 2022 regular council meeting as published in the Casper Star Tribune.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor Nell, seconded by Councilmember Egebretson. Any amendments? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all council members voting aye, the motion passes.
Chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the December 6, 2022 executive session.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Kathy, seconded by Councilmember Sutherland. Any amendments? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
Chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the December 13, 2022 special council meeting as published in the Casper Star Tribune on December 25th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Egebretson, seconded by Councilmember Pollock. Any amendments? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the December 13, 2022 executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember McIntosh, seconded by Councilmember Gamroth. Any amendments? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the December 20, 2022 regular council meeting as published in the Casper Star Tribune on December 29, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Pollock, seconded by Vice Mayor Nell. Any amendments? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the December 20, 2022 executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Egebretson, seconded by Vice Mayor Nell. Any amendments? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the January 3, 2023 bills and claims as audited by City Manager Napier.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Kathy, seconded by Councilmember McIntosh. Any abstentions? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
Now I'd like to extend council members Sutherland, McIntosh, and Humphrey. If you would please come forward. I would like to thank you for your service and present you with some plaques. I don't know why, I'm just glad That's all right. I'm too short anyway. Those are gorgeous. As you can see, that was well-planned and well-rehearsed. Months of planning. I'd like to extend the opportunity now for them to give some comments to our outgoing council members. First, I'll hand it over to Councilmember Humphrey.
Thank you, guys. Well, again, I want to thank you guys for allowing us the opportunity to serve, even though it was just a few months. I call it a short sentence, but truly it was like coming back home to see family. A lot of faces I missed, a lot of growth that you guys have all done. The council is so insightful and in tune, and I have to say, so much smarter than I was, like, currently. So yeah, I just want to tell everybody thank you. It's been an honor just to even sit and listen to the discussion, because I've learned a lot. So thank you, guys. You're going to have an amazing 4 years ahead of you, and I might watch YouTube, or I don't know, I might go skiing. So I'll be thinking of y'all.
Thank you. Councilmember McIntosh.
I want to thank everybody for the opportunity I had to serve for these 4 months. It was a short sentence, but it was very enjoyable. I learned a lot. I was thankful for the opportunity to serve and look forward to coming back in a couple of years. So, and just for those new members coming in, just a word of advice, or a couple. Pay attention, observe, listen, ask questions, and then make comments. And you will get along just fine. These guys are great to work with. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Sutherland.
Thank you. Similar to my colleagues here, I think the biggest thing I have to say is just thank you very much for the opportunity. Being chosen, I guess, just a little over a year ago, it's just been a tremendous learning opportunity, and I think more than anything, just having the privilege to work with all of you has been really wonderful. I leave with just immense gratitude and so much respect for our city, for our city staff. Carter, you're an incredible city manager. Thank you for everything you do for Casper. We are really in really incredible hands, and it's been such a privilege to learn that lesson from everybody who's working here and brought me on board and brought me up to speed. So thank you for that. My parents are here, so I have to tell them thank you, because without them, my children would have been wandering around aimlessly every Tuesday evening. So I think they're disappointed because they don't have their Tuesday nights with their grandparents, but it's okay. So again, yeah, it's just been a privilege to be here, and congrats to Jenna. I know you're going to do a wonderful job, and if you need any advice, probably you should ask somebody else, but I'm around if you need anything. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I will now issue oaths of office to our newly elected council members. After these oaths, we will take a brief recess, and then we'll refer to the seating chart below in your packet, and I think the new council member elects know that as well. And so if are we doing it right over there, Fleur? Like neutral? Okay. So if I could just have, what's that? Again, well rehearsed. We'll just go right over here, actually. Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, Steve.
Before you folks leave, it's been a pleasure having Kaneen, Michael, and Jai on the council. They have been great to work with, and definitely wanted to thank you for your service and your time. It's not always easy to make the meetings, to make the commitments, to be here and to be up to speed. I want to thank you, all three of you, for all of that time and effort. Thank you.
That was my bad. Does any other council members want to say anything? Yes, Councilmember Gamroth. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm glad to have this opportunity because I didn't have the chance to write anything last time. So I wanted to say to Councilmember Jai or Councilmember Sutherland, I thought you were incredibly thoughtful, articulate, intelligent. I've really appreciated and benefited from your perspective during your time on council. I was glad to have gotten to know you and your family, and I wish you the best. Thank you for applying for the open position when you did, and thank you for your service. To Kaneen and Michael, council members, I suppose, if I'm going to keep it on the straight and narrow, council members McIntosh and Humphrey. Thank you to you as well. You help provide stability and nourishment in the way of baked goods during a period of time where we were, down a couple council members. And so I just wanted to thank you both for throwing your hats in the ring and taking seriously your duties, even during the short term. And so just thank you very much. It's important for us to have those seats filled, to take care of all the important business. And I really appreciated how prepared and capable you guys were stepping in. So thank you to you as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Anybody else? Councilmember Pollock.
Well, I rehearsed my comments last time, but just since, this is probably the meeting that I should have said it in, I would just like to add to Kaneen and Michael, thanks so much for the level of investment you brought in your short time. You could have very easily just phoned in these 4 months, and you didn't. And so I really appreciate how seriously you've taken this and everything that you've done for the council to provide stability in a time that otherwise could have thrown us off track a little bit. But instead we were able to keep going without missing a beat, thanks to your efforts. So thank you so much for that. And to Jai, it's truly been a pleasure working with you. I will miss immensely your thoughtfulness and I'm not sure the greater community realizes what a very specific perspective you're able to bring to the city based on your day job and other experiences that you've had in your life. And so whether they know it or not, we've all benefited from that over the last year and a little bit. So thank you for bringing that. And I hope this is not the last time you'll be able to contribute those experiences and that expertise, in this forum or others throughout the city. So thank you so much, and enjoy your Tuesday nights while you have them at least. So.
Councilmember Ingebretson.
So I also want to just thank you guys. Kaneen and Michael, I do appreciate both of you just stepping in at such a short time and then just jumping in and trying to learn on the fly. I know it's a lot to learn in a short amount of time. Jai, I truly appreciate just working with you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Vice Mayor.
I can't say anything that hasn't already been said, but I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss your insightfulness and your kindness. It was just incredible. And Michael and Kaneen, we didn't have you for long, but the experience you brought was amazing. Thank you for that. And I'm going to advocate for your parents because I think they could still have Tuesday nights if you were so willing. I don't know that you always have to have something to do for them to get them.
Yeah, I just want to say really quickly too, Kaneen and Michael, thank you for your time. I appreciate that. Kaneen, this was our third round, and so I really appreciate you, just that steady hand that you had for us and your expertise and being able to come in right when you needed to. And the same thing with you, Michael. Your experience on P&Z, understanding the processes, you guys jumped right in and gave us stability when we needed that. Jai, I'm going to really miss you. Again, I'm not going to repeat everything that's been said, but you were incredibly insightful, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness and your pragmatism. It's something that's very needed in politics today, in government. So thank you so very much. Okay, I will now issue oaths of office to our newly elected council members. After these oaths, we will take a brief recess, and then we will refer to the seating chart as we will be switching some spots to welcome in our new council members. So we're going to go right over here to this corner here. If our new council members would just come on up here.
Are we going over there, or is this? Okay. Like, are we changing complete sides?
Well, that's what I heard. All right, so repeat after me. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Wyoming. That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my election or appointment or caused it to be done by others.
That I have not knowingly violated any law related to election or appointment or caused it to be done by others.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
So we'll take a brief recess and then we will gather back.
Somebody likes to strap those. There's an emergency highlighter over there. Like, do you need a highlighter versus highlighter versus? There you go. Well, hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Did you figure those buttons
I
out?
think so.
Okay.
Abstain.
There's yes, no, and abstain.
Okay,
I've never used that one,
okay.
so,
Oh,
yeah.
absent. Okay.
Yeah.
Push
And
that.
It's hard to push it if you're not.
if you want to put things,
Oh, great.
And yet it's.
see, oh, yeah. Somebody's left you some treats. Yeah.
At this time, I would like to take a moment, give a moment to our newly sworn-in council members to make a few words and introduce their family or friends if they have some here this evening. So we will start with Councilmember Jensen.
Hi, thank you. So my family did leave, but Bob and Jeannie are here, my neighbors, so thank you very much for coming. I see you have a few others out there in the audience too, but mainly I just want to thank the supporters and that I had and that voted for me, and I also want to take this opportunity to thank everybody. I know that I have a lot of friends and family that are watching online on YouTube for this, so my dad, especially in Reno, Nevada, right now, I know he's watching, so thank you, Daddy, for always staying behind me and being the wind beneath to my sails, making me stay level-headed and get through things. So thank you, love you. That's it. Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with all y'all, of course.
Thank you. Councilmember Haskins.
Nope, right here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now I got it.
There you go.
I don't know that they were prepared to be outed, but my husband and my kids are here, so thank you so much for your support. Chase, my #1 fan. Great supporter, sign putter upper. All of my friends and family who did support and help me in this, all of the people in my ward who voted for me, and of course I want to thank the people who aren't in my ward who told someone to vote for me. So thank you. I'm looking forward to doing so many good things with these group of people, so thank you.
Councilmember Bond.
I got it. First try. I just want to introduce my good friends, Val and Patty. They're here. My friend Tina and her daughter Haley were here, but I think they had to leave. But again, I just want to say how excited I am and happy to join the council and looking forward to working with each of the council members. And again, want to thank the people in my ward who voted for me and again, the people not in my ward who, like you, recommended to people that they vote for me as well. I appreciate their support and it meant a lot. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the work.
Thank you. Welcome. We're excited that you're here. On our roll that all members are present. As stated in the rules of the council, the mayor is elected by the city council from the city council from their members. Interested members submit their names as candidates for mayor and vice mayor of the council at a meeting near the end of the calendar year. An informal and non-binding straw poll is taken by secret ballot at this session. The votes are turned over to the city attorney and the city clerk to count and announce the results. At the first official council meeting of the new year, the prior year's mayor steps aside and the council formally votes on the new mayor and the vice mayor. At this time, council will select the mayor for the calendar year 2023, and the chair would entertain a motion to elect the mayor of calendar year 2023.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Pollock, seconded by Councilmember Gamroth. Actually, if I could have one of the council members move to elect council member, if you would just read that from the script on there, I'm sorry. If you wouldn't mind.
I move to elect Councilmember Nell as mayor for 2023. I combine mayor and Nell into Nell.
Can you second that, Kyle? Yeah, I second. Seconded by Councilmember Gamroth. Any abstentions or nay votes? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With Councilmember Ingebretson voting nay and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
The next order of business will be for council to elect the vice mayor for calendar year 2023. I'll have you help me out, Paul. Yeah, I'll help you help me out if you wouldn't mind.
I move that we elect Councilmember or Mayor Pacheco for the vice mayor position 2023.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember, or from, I guess he's the mayor. No, not yet. Vice Mayor Nell. Any abstentions or nay votes? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
The city clerk will now issue oaths of office to the newly elected mayor and vice mayor.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
I solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my election or appointment or caused it to be done by others.
That I have not knowingly violated any law
related to my election or appointment or caused it to be done by others.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Mm-hmm. Comments by the newly elected mayor, I guess that would be me. So first off, I want to thank my fellow councilors. I do appreciate this opportunity, and I will certainly dispatch it with fidelity. And it's an honor for me, and very much. And I want to thank you for that, all of you. And I'd also like to introduce my wife, Stacy, in the back. She always supports everything I do, so thank you, honey, for that. And that's all I have. So, and any comments from the new vice mayor?
Just a couple things that I will say. One, it's been an honor to serve as your mayor this last year. I always say that being the mayor is not quite as shiny as everybody makes it out to be. We're one of 9. We're kind of glorified meeting wranglers, if you will. But beyond that, the opportunity to be a mayor is humbling. My continuing as a city council member and vice mayor to continue to support our new mayor will be something that I will not take lightly, to be able to do that and continue to be a leader for our community and to be a leader on this council. So thank you very much. And my wife and kids are at home because they're cold, so, but they still love me. I know they do, so.
And with that said, I would like to present this plaque to Mr. Pacheco for his outgoing mayoral duties. Okay, now's the time we invite anyone in the audience who wishes to speak with the council to come forward. As stated on the first page of the agenda, we ask the following. Please state your name. Direct all questions and comments to the mayor and the mayor only. No personal attacks on staff or council will be tolerated. Council will not respond to personnel matters. These will be referred to the city manager. Questions posed by speakers, mayor, may not be responded to you by council members. Presentations will be limited to 5 minutes, and the duplication of speakers will not be allowed, nor will time extensions be permitted. Please note that public hearings and ordinances each have their own comment period, so if you're here to comment on one of those, please hold them till that item reaches the floor. So is there anyone who wishes to speak to council? All right, well, there being no one, we will move on. Established dates of public hearing.
Establish January 17th, 2023 as the public hearing date for consideration of 12A1A, adoption of the fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2, and 12A1B, an ordinance approving a zone change of the property located at 1231, 1235, and 1241 South Washington Street, lots 294, 295, and 296, Kenwood Addition, from zoning classification R2, 1 unit residential, to R3, 1 to 4 unit residential.
Thank you, and I apologize for not queuing that for you. The chair would entertain a motion by minute action to establish the public hearing dates just read.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilor Cathey and seconded by Councilor Pollock. Any abstentions or nay votes?
Right here.
Please, ma'am.
I need to abstain from 12.A.1b.
So noted. Okay, please cast your vote. And please record the vote.
With Councilmember Ingebretson abstaining from 12A1B and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
Okay, consent resolutions. I'm sorry, council will now consider consent resolutions. Please read the consent resolutions by title only.
13A1, authorizing an agreement with Experian Information Solutions Incorporated to provide reporting information services. 13A2, authorizing a contract with Prairie Pella, Wyoming to replace windows and doors at the Miller Dorm. 13A3, authorizing a contract for professional services with GSG Architecture Incorporated for engineering, architectural design, bidding, and construction administration services for the Casper Family Aquatic Center Natatorium Improvements Project. And 13A4, providing for the naming of legal depositories and investment firms for 2023.
The chair would entertain a motion to adopt the consent resolutions just read.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilor Ingebretson, seconded by Councilor Pollock. City Manager, any comments on these items?
No, sir.
Thank you. Any abstentions or nay votes? Please cast your vote. And please record the vote.
With all members voting aye, the motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on, please read the consent minute action titles.
14A1, designating the Casper Journal and Casper Star Tribune as the city's official newspaper for the calendar year 2023. 14A2, reappointing Carol Martin, Karen Meyer, Kelly Ivanoff, and Philip Rail to 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2024, and appointing Michael Hirschbein and Pete Maxwell to 1-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023, to the Old Yellowstone District Advisory Committee. 14A3, approving the transfer of ownership interest for THW Incorporated doing business as JS Chinese Restaurant located at 116 West 2nd Street. And 14A4, authorizing the reappointment of council members Steve Cathey and Amber Pollock and appointing Paul Bertolio to Councilmember Sutherland's unexpired term on the Central Wyoming Regional Water System Joint Powers Board.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent minute action items just read.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor Pacheco, seconded by Councilor Cathy. Any abstentions or nay votes?
Yes, I'd like to abstain from 14A4.
I'd like to abstain from 14A3. I guess A4 as well, since I'm on that list too. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to vote nay on 14A1. Thank you.
Any others? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With Councilmember Gamroth's nay vote and Councilmember Pollock and Kathy's abstentions noted and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
Thank you. At this time, we ask councilors to bring forward relevant concerns or items of interest. Councilor Ingebretson.
I'm just ready to get the year started, have some board meetings coming up this week, so excited to just get going and let's do 2023.
Thank you. Councilor Jensen.
I am too excited to start this new year off in 2023, and like Lisa mentioned, it's just going to be a good year, so looking forward to it.
Councilor Gamroth.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to give some brief comments to the incoming councilors. I really look forward to serving with you all. I already know most of you, and I'm thankful for your service outside the council chambers. I'm glad to see you bring those passions into this office and into this position. We've had a really good council these past couple years since I've been serving, and so I think this new council has the potential to keep that momentum going forward and compounding kind of the the efforts that we've been tackling. And so just really looking forward to working with y'all. So thank you for your service and thank you for running. I know it's difficult. And then I guess I would just like to elaborate on why I voted no on 14A1 for our consent agenda. I am still not stoked about the cost of this mandated publishing. Costs the city about $70,000 a year. I know Mills and Bar None both chose not to continue, and the judge dropped that lawsuit. And so it's a mistake on my part for not pulling that off consent tonight so that we could discuss it a little bit more, but just wanted folks to know that I do intend on bringing that back up in the near future. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Carter, is that something we could find room for, or is it too late? Maybe for next year?
Mr. Mayor, the counselor brings up a good point as it relates to potential future discussion on a work session to start, and then maybe some formal decisions thereafter, if it's appropriate for the council.
Very good. Thank you. Councilor Bond.
I just want to say again, I'm looking forward to serving with everyone and ask your indulgence as I ask a lot of questions. So thank you very much for that.
Councilor Cathy.
Glad to see the new members. Look forward to working with you. That's it.
Councilor Haskins.
I also am just excited to be here and excited to get started and to work with all of you guys, so thank you.
Very good. Councilor Pollock.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I will just echo, thanks for your efforts in running and stepping up to fulfill what I believe is a duty to our community. So thank you for taking that on. And if there's any way that I can be helpful, please let me know. And look forward to working with all of you. I don't have any committee updates this week because it's kind of a week between Christmas, New Year hiatus from all of my committees. So thank you all very much.
Vice Mayor Pacheco.
Thank you. My comments are to the new counselors that are joining us. My best advice to you is that the next few weeks are certainly going to be intense. There'll be lots of stuff learning, a high learning curve. Ask lots of questions. I think that's incredibly important. Sometimes it's easier to ask those questions, sometimes to be able to listen. I think actually former Counselor McIntosh said it as well. Listen. There's a lot to be learned. I think the seating assignments put you around some seasoned counselors, so ask them some questions. They're very seasoned, they know what they're doing, and so forth. I already see some of them doing that, so helping out. And don't be afraid to ask those questions. The staff is phenomenal. We have the best city manager in the region. I truly believe that. And so ask him questions. He will get you in the right path, what you need to. So congratulations, and here we go.
I just have a couple things just for the general public. Tonight at our pre-meeting, we're trying to find a name that fit best, from councilman to councilwoman to council member so we, as a group, collectively decided on counselor. It's short, it's sweet, it's professional. A counselor is defined by Webster as a person on a council. So it fit us well. So if you hear that, it'll take a minute to get used to, but that's where we're at with that. Also, for the incoming, we still have boards to get folks assigned to. So please reach out to the city manager's office and find out what's available. And then Carter and I will get together, and hopefully next week at our work session, we can get those all sewn up and have all our boards and everything taken care of. That's all I have. So thank you all. Oh, by the way, I am immensely humbled by your vote of confidence in allowing me to be the mayor. I appreciate it. I will do you proud without question. So thank you for that. The next meeting of the Casper City Council will be a work session to be held at 4:30 p.m. Next Tuesday, January 10th, in the council meeting room, and a regular council meeting will be held at 6 p.m. Huh? Is that correct? No, we shouldn't have a regular council meeting next week. Oh, it'll be held at 6 p.m. Tuesday the 17th in council chambers. Okay, thank you. The chair would now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Pollock, second by Councilor Kathy. Please cast your vote. And please record the vote. This meeting is adjourned.